giving us is just so much valuable. It's free. It's free, and my friend girl, and I'm gonna put her on blast tonight. She might be on or should be on. Tennille Hill turned me on to you all, and this was before COVID ever hit, and the program was at the church, and I never was able to go to the church program. So then when COVID came out in the Zoom, I don't know, it just seemed like I was able to make it. But like I said, this is my third time taking it. I'm gonna take it again in the fall. Every time I take it, I learn something valuable, and it's just so awesome that you all with St. Mark are providing this, not just to St. Mark members, but anybody that wants to can be a part of it. And it's just so awesome. And I just wanted to get on here and say thank you to you and to Mr. Marcus and to Deacon Thomas and all of the presenters that we have had for the past 7 weeks. You guys are just awesome, and keep up the good work. That's what God wants us to do, is when we get knowledge to bless and help somebody else.
That's right. That's right. Well, thank you, Miss Donna. You didn't know that I was going to be asking for good testimonies tonight. So you just went ahead and started it off for us. So thank you so much.
Oh, you welcome. You welcome. Love the hairdo too, lady. The hairdo is rocking. Go ahead on.
Thank you, honey. I'm showing up today for the last night.
Yes, you are.
Awesome. Thank you. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. You came in the middle of a wonderful testimony. Miss Donnie just gave an amazing one. So wonderful. Do anybody else want to share? Because we got a lot to share tonight. So we got about 2 minutes. Anybody else want to share your experience the first time, third time, fifth time, doesn't matter. If you want to share, you're welcome to do so. We'd love to hear from you. All right. Even if you want to just give your number one takeaway. What if you don't want to give a full testimony? But what's your number one takeaway from class? How about
that? Well, this is my first time taking the class, and my number one takeaway, Candace, is when you shared about Godfidence. And that is the one thing that has just stuck in my head is Godfidence. And that's just really, we're getting on track, or I'm trying to get on track, and we have been able to pay one credit card off. Yes. So we're taking that, and I'm building me some more Godfidence.
That's it. Oh, I love that, Miss Karen. Thank you so much for sharing. That's awesome right there. I like that. Congratulations on paying that credit card off too. That's big. That's building it. That's building that confidence. I love it. All right. Anyone else want to share their takeaway from the class? Anyone?
Candace.
Yes.
I like how you just bring so much joy to the class, and you just happy all the time. You just make me happy. You're never sad. I know God's good. We all have our moments, but you just bring that joy. And you just light up the rest of us. You light me up anyway. I like being around joyful people.
That's awesome. Thank you so much, boy. Y'all better make me feel good tonight. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's good. Anyone else? Any takeaways? Anybody want to share? Karen and Tanya. I know y'all got something over there. Y'all want to share anything? Yeah, I just called y'all out. Yep.
We took this class a couple years ago. I think it was in 2019.
Right when COVID hit.
No, after COVID.
Yeah, we missed the last class because of COVID hit.
Yeah, whatever it was. And because of the knowledge that you guys have shared, we are really now debt free. The only debt we have is a house note. So appreciate everything that you guys have shared with us.
Absolutely. That's what I'm talking about. That is awesome. Oh, y'all running it up tonight. That is amazing. Congratulations. We got the house, the mortgage. That's all we got left. That's it. Congratulations.
Hey, Candace.
Yes.
And I can tell the Joneses, they just look like there's a little bit less stress in their lives. they just exude it. That's great. That is great.
Absolutely. Congratulations, Team Jones. That's beautiful. That's awesome. All right. Anybody else? We're going to do last call. This is a moment for takeaways. It's a moment for your testimony, whatever you want. Ms. Marilyn says she is the CFO of my own personal enterprise. You're absolutely right. Wonderful. Anyone else? Did you have anything that you just learned or just stuck with you? We just want to make sure we don't miss anybody. Last call. Anybody want to share? We got about 1 more minute. Yes, no, maybe. You're muted if you're talking. We can't hear you. Okay. All right, Miss Ann, you sure you didn't want to share? I thought you wanted to share, Miss Ann. Okay.
No, I'm good, but thank you. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. I can
Awesome.
tell you that.
Good.
It's made me think.
That's what we wanted to do. That's that good consciousness there. So thank you. Wonderful, wonderful. Mr. Charles, you unmuted. Were you trying to unmute? Okay. I'm getting a little feedback from you, so I'm gonna go back on, put you back on mute there. It's all right. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get started for tonight. Welcome, everyone. It is night 7. It is the last night of the Money Matters course, and we have a treat for you. So I hope you have your pens, your pads, because we know you've been taking notes. We know. And we have a ton of things to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in. I'm going to spend the first about 15 minutes going over a very important area with you all to make sure that we're ready for the investment education that is preparing to share. So this is all a part of the last night. Did anyone, let me ask you this before I pull that up. Did anyone finish their binder? Anyone finish their binder? Oh, we got faces. No. Okay. Y'all laughing at me. Candace, you know we didn't do it. I know, because I didn't get to look at your over your shoulder this time, but it's all right. We're gonna get you. It's a work in progress. It's okay if you didn't. Renata, congratulations, Renata. Not completely, but we'll okay. Almost done. Miss Donnie's almost done. So team, are we getting those names down? I know we got Renata. She finished her bonder. And then Miss Dunny is almost done. There, the Chapmans are almost done. Okay, almost done, but not done. So Renata's the only one we know of right now that is complete. That's not talking about from a different class, but from this class. So that's wonderful. Okay, good. Those keep working on them. It's not a moment of saying, hey, it's class is over, don't do it. Your finances are a continuous thing. It doesn't just stop because class stopped. So we want to make sure you continue. Congratulations, Renata. That is wonderful. Let's go ahead and get into our content for tonight. Let's see if I can do it here. I had a pop quiz for you. Y'all ready for this pop quiz? I hope my screen is not giving away answers. Okay. All right. Pop quiz. We talked about a lot of things last week. A ton of things last week. And I gave you, the Chapmans are done. Okay. Awesome. All right. So I gave you a ton of things last week. I'm curious who remembers, and I believe it was 5 things that we discussed last week that you should have before you start investing so that your investments don't become a put and take account. What are those 5 things that we talked about last week so that your investments don't become a put and take account? Anybody know? Unmute yourself. Let's talk about it. Put it in the chat. We got a team tonight. We got a team. Listen, let me give a shout out to the team because they're amazing. Oh man, we always work together. We have an amazing team. Y'all know that, but it's a thing. So I just want to make sure we know. All right. Oh, don't nobody know what the 5 things are, huh? What did we talk about last week that you're supposed to have before you start investing? You're supposed to do these things. And I said at the end of the call, I said, so that your account won't become a put and take account, you need these 5 things.
Put and take account, save and versus invest, save just.
I'm sure one of them is you have to have your emergency at least at 1,000 and probably that 3 months.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I know those are probably 2.
Okay, and I'm gonna count that for something for you. I'm gonna give you that. I'm giving you that. That counts. Okay. Anybody else? That's 1.
Yeah.
You can't get the other ones, Miss Karen?
No, I'm not too sure about the other ones.
All right, I got you. No worries. You did good. You helped somebody. I don't think y'all know. Boy, I did a whole lot of talking last week. Boy, maybe I was talking. Maybe I talked too much and y'all missed it. So let's talk about it again, okay? I'm gonna do a quick recap. Last week, Ms. Donnie, that's a good
Emergency fund.
That's part of it. Right. So let's go. I'm gonna tell you what it is because nobody got it, so they missed $100 tonight. It's all right. I was gonna give you 100. We didn't make it. Okay, here we go. What is it? Your emergency fund is a part of the income protection, okay, as well as your critical illness, your life insurance, which is a love product, and long-term care if you're 50 and older. These are the things that we talked about last week before you start investing and making sure you're wanting to put your money into investment accounts. Our goal and objective was to educate you on how to create your financial foundation so that your retirement accounts and your investment accounts, same retirement accounts, don't turn into a put and take account. Income protection, short and long-term disability. That short term is actually can be your emergency fund or contingency fund so that it's not an emergency, but it's just an inconvenience. You can write the check. Critical illness covers you for the major four. What does that do? If something happens to you and you don't die, then these major four things can take a really, really big toll on your finances, and all the things you worked hard for, you could spend down all your money trying to make sure your health is okay if you're not covered properly. That's critical illness. You want to make sure you have that coverage. Life insurance, covering your someone you love. You only get life insurance if you love someone, and you make sure you cover that because you're protecting your assets and what you're wanting to build up. And your life insurance covers you in case you aren't able to complete what you plan to do. So it self-completes that retirement and passes something down to generations to come. And then long-term care, if you're 50 and older, we say make sure you get you some of that because you don't want your later years for you to lose your dignity. We call that our dignity product, to where you can have that dignity in your life. All right. So to make sure you're taken care of if you need a assisted living facility or someone to come into your home to take care of you. Very, very important. All right. So those are those things. The next level of your investment and making sure that you know how to invest your money is knowing what kind of investor you are. Does anyone know what kind of investor they are? Anybody?
Yes.
For
Yeah.
some reason, I'm sorry. I was just going to say, for some reason, I put dittos next to, you made a statement, savings is totally different from investing.
It is.
And that stuck with me.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's good. Good. Moderately conservative, Miss Ann. Okay, good. So what kind of investor are you? If you don't know, we're getting ready to talk about it right now. So you should have this in your workbook, but I'm going to add it to the chat. Let's see if I can add it to the chat. There we go. Just in case you're missing it, I just added it to the chat. You can download it. And if you don't have it downloaded, can't get it, just write the numbers down and you can get back to it later. But I'm going to go over the investment profile or risk profile so you can make sure you know what kind of investor you are, so you know what kind of investments you should be doing based on your profile, your risk profile. So let's talk about what is a risk profile. A risk profile tells you how you should invest your money. Your time horizon says, when will you begin taking your money out of the account and at what rate, how fast, right? And then your risk tolerance tells you how much risk you can take as it relates to the market going up and down. So from that perspective, what it says is that some investments fluctuate. And when it says that they fluctuate, that means that if the market goes down super low, can you afford to have your money in the market that long for it to recoup or fix itself? Or is it not a good idea for you to invest in those things that are extremely aggressive like that? So we definitely want to know your risk tolerance, and these two aspects tell you what kind of investor you are. And I'm going to go through every step with you right now. So let's talk about it. The first two questions are about your time horizon. Your time horizon says, okay, number one, I plan to begin withdrawing my funds or my money from my investment account in how many years, you all? Less than 3, 3 to 5, 6 to 10, or 11 or more. You answer these questions based on your situation. Now, again, the question says, When do you plan on taking your money out of your investment accounts? All right. Everybody have an answer? This answer says 6. I mean, is number 7, which is 6 to 10 years. That's the answer that's here. Does everyone have an answer? Good. Yes. All right. Yes. Perfect. Let's keep going. Once I begin withdrawing funds from my investment, I plan to spend all the funds in how many years? Less than 2, 2 to 5, 6 to 10, or 11 or more. This answer says 11 or more. When I take the money out of the account, how soon do I plan to spend all the funds? I put 11 years or more on this example, but you put your own answers. After you answer the first two, you're going to add those two numbers together. And in this example, the number is 15 because it's 7 plus 8 is 15. Now, let me give you the sidebar here that it says on the side. It says if your time horizon, you see the bottom? If your time horizon is less than 3, stop here. If your score is 3 or more, please continue. Why is it saying that? It says if it's less than 3, it indicates that you have a short investment time horizon. And for such a short period of time, you may not need a whole lot of risk. So low risk is what should be happening with your accounts. And then it gives you percentages and amounts. So short-term bonds or bond funds, it actually tells you where to put your money in those low risk kind of situations. Does that make sense? If you're with me, just say yes in the chat, nod your head. I can see you. Talk to me so I can make sure I can keep moving in a nice fashion. Yes, got it. Okay, I got 1 yes. Any other yeses? Karen said yes. Okay, good. All right, Latrice. All right, perfect. Miss Winnie, you got yes over there? Yes, okay. All right, I know I can see you. That's why I asked you, okay? All right, perfect. Thank you so much. All right, we're good. Okay, I'm gonna keep going. Here we go. Now, the next section is the risk tolerance. We're gonna ask a ton of questions in this area as well. Actually, it's not a lot of them. It's like 5. So number 3, I would describe my investment knowledge as what? None, limited, good, or extensive. In this example, I put limited as the answer. You put your answer. What would you describe your investment knowledge? All right. Number 4, when I invest my money, I am most concerned about losing money. I'm equally concerned about my investments losing or gaining, or most concerned about my investments gaining money. I'm trying to make the money. That's what it said. All right. So which one are you? And this is the example. So I've circled 1 here for you to make sure you're following along. All right. Good deal. You put your answer. We're going to keep going. Number 5. This is easy enough, right? I'm reading it to you. Everybody good? Yep. Nice. All right. Select the investments you currently own. Bonds or bond funds, stocks or stock funds, international securities or international funds. An example, they said you own stock funds in the past and you purchased international securities, just circle 8. So if you've owned these things in the past, circle 8. If not so much and you're not sure, circle 3. If you just have something on your job, go ahead and circle 3 just to have an answer there, okay? All right, got it? Let's keep going. Number 6, it's a scenario. I'm just going to give it to you and not read it, all right? Because then I'm just going to have to tell you what I said, okay? It says, in the last 3 months, an overall stock lost 25% of its value. You owned that stock and lost 25%. What does that look like? So you have $100,000 in an investment account in one stock. That stock dropped $25,000 like boom over 3 months. What would you do? I'm gonna say it again. Uh-oh, somebody done put something in the chat already. All right. An overall stock that you own. Here we go. Lost value. You had $100,000 in the account. It went down over a 3-month period to $75,000. That meant you lost $25,000 of value. what would you do? Would you sell all your shares? Would you sell some of your shares? Would you do nothing? Or would you buy more shares? What's your answer? What would you do? I'm curious. Tell me. Oh, let me see what they see. Let me see what they see. Ride it out for the long haul. Buy more, hold nothing, do nothing. Okay. I feel like I'm at an auction. All right. All right. Okay. Y'all been listening. Does anybody remember the concept last week that we talked about? She said, cry and buy more. Okay. That's called you got faith. I guess that's what that is. It sounds like you've been listening, but you're struggling. You're struggling. Okay. And somebody said, sell them. All right. Anybody remember last week when I talked about me and the relationship I had with Clarence? Anybody know? Anybody remember that? Y'all remember? No. Well, y'all just told me a while ago I wasn't talking about nothing last week. So we're going to have to talk about it again. Okay. Somebody said something. Somebody said I ain't Ken, we don't remember. They remember. Okay, Shayla. See now?
Yeah.
You and Stacey. All right, we good. I'm gonna talk to y'all. Okay. We talked about the relationship with Clarence, and we talked about a concept called, I gotta say that kind of stuff. Y'all know finance not always fun, right? So I gotta like have some fun, make sure y'all listen to me. So I gotta say something to make sure I got your attention. Okay. So me and Clarence have a relationship, and that relationship we were talking about, the concept was called dollar cost averaging. Everybody remember? Dollar cost averaging is when the market goes up and the market goes down, but you still spend that $3.33 a day, which is $100 a month. And that $100 a month was still buying shares every month, right? Well, when me and Clarence's relationship happened, it was because the share prices went down and I just kept spending the same amount of money, and I was buying more and more shares because the market went down, and the market went down and I kept buying. I kept spending 100. Market went down, I kept spending 100. Well, the value of the shares were going down. I was still spending the same $100, and I was buying more shares because they were on sale. In this scenario, many of you gave answers. No answer is wrong. It's based on your personality. I'm just educating you on thought processes of how you can look at it. Number one thought process: you don't lose unless you pull out. If you don't pull your funds out, you didn't lose. Oh, it lost value. But if you give it a little time, it may be able to gain the value back. Oh, somebody learned something. You don't lose until you pull out, and that's when you know you really lost, because you took out less than what you put in. All right. Second thing to take note of. In this case, if I sell all my shares, that's me pulling the funds out. If I sell some of them, that means I kept some and I sold some. If I do nothing, that means I'm giving it time to go ahead and go back up on its own. But if I buy more shares, what did I just do? Me and Clarence just had a relationship, because I went to the clearance rack on those actual stocks that the shares of that fund. Does this make sense? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes. All right. We got head nods. You and Clarence should have a relationship, because when you go shopping, you like the clearance rack. When you go shopping for your stocks or your mutual funds, which is what we're getting ready to talk about tonight, guess what? You should go to the clearance rack too. It's a good thing. All right. Buying more shares is the answer here. No answer is wrong. I just want you to understand that whatever you chose, there's answers and numbers for each one of those. All right. I got to move. I'm on less time. Oh, it's my last one. Okay. Here we go. We've outlined oh yeah, I did that real bad. Okay. We've outlined the most likely best and worst case annual returns. We have 5 hypothetical investments. Which range do you feel like is most acceptable for you? I'm going to name out 3. You choose what you desire. A. Now wait. Some of you are wondering, how do I know which one is best for me? It's got percentages. Anybody remember the rule of 72? Anybody? Yes. Of course you do. You take 72 and divide it by the interest rate. It tells you how many years it takes your money to double. right? So if you take the scenario that I'm getting ready to give you, okay, take that scenario divided by 72 divided by that scenario, it'll tell you how many years it takes for that money to double, and then you'll be able to make a decision for yourself. All right. So letter A says 7.2 average, best case 16, worst case -5. Letter C says average 10%, best case 33%, worst case 18%. Letter E says average 12%, best case 50%, worst case -28%. You circle which point is best for you. But if you're wondering how to calculate it, use the rule of 72, which is 72 divided by the amount of interest that you're going to receive. And it tells you how many years it takes your money to double. This is a principle that we should be remembering all the time when it comes to us knowing how much or how fast our money is growing. All right, we got it. Everybody have an answer? Oh, y'all doing the math. I see it in your face. I see it. This is good. This is good. Okay, I'm giving you a moment. In this scenario, I circled 6 just as an example. All right, good. Now, everybody have a good answer. I'm going to keep moving. Circle what you wish. It's yours. It's your profile. And then you're going to add up these 5 answers. This scenario I have gives 28 as the number. You should have a number. Please have a number. Let me know if you have a number. Say got it in the chat. Say got it in the chat. Got it. Okay. Got one. Got it.
Come on it.
Got it. Okay. What's your number? You got it? Anybody want to share their number? Give us your number. Just the one number. All right. 21. Okay. Okay. Good. 24, 29. Good, 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 good. Love it. All right, good. Now let's go to the next page. This page is where you find your risk tolerance and on each side. So on the left side, you will see your time horizon. That's your first number. Your first number you find on the left-hand side, which was 15 in this scenario. And I find that number there. The other number was 28 on my end. So I go all the way over to 28. And guess what? I find the middle and I see what my actual risk tolerance is. Does anybody want to share? A few people already have theirs, which is great. But one of the things I want you to remember is that your risk tolerance can change. The more education you get, the more more education, more knowledge, your risk tolerance can change based upon that. Okay, so we just want to make sure that you have it. Moderately aggressive, moderate, good. Anybody else have their risk tolerance?
Moderate, conservative.
Okay, okay, good. And remember, these are based on different aspects. It's knowledge, it's time that you have in the market. This is good because you should never have a conversation with an investment advisor or anyone about investing and we don't know our risk tolerance. This is so important, okay? All right, so the last one I'm gonna put, I'm gonna explain and then we're gonna turn it over to Deacon Thomas, is the actual strategy. So based upon your risk tolerance, you're going to circle your actual strategy. So if you're moderate, you'll go to moderate conservative there. If you're moderate, you'll go to moderate. Whatever it is, you'll circle your area based on what yours is. So Patricia, yours is moderately aggressive, just like the example. So you would circle here. It tells you what your funds and how it should be invested. It says, hey, you should have 5% if you're moderately aggressive in cash investments. Like that's like a bank account, right? That's okay. Then you should have 15% in fixed income. You should have 20% in international, 15% in small cap, and 45% in large cap equity. All of these kind of things are explaining to you your long-term investment goals and growth should be based around these percentages. And you can actually use this for your job retirement plan, which is really cool. So this plan and what we're looking at, is very helpful, and you will want to know your risk profile. All right. So at this point, do we have any just quick questions or anything of the sort? Any questions at this time? Any questions? Do you know your risk profile? Do you have it? Does this make sense? Is this okay? Everybody good? I got a few people in here that got them. Okay. Are you still working on it? Okay. I'm going to say that we're okay. And that we have it. And that you're working on it because you quiet and that you over there writing on your paper. Everything's good. All right, good. So what I'm going to do now, questions, any other questions on that? I just want to make sure we're good. I'm going to get ready to turn it over to Deacon Thomas. Okay, so good hands, nods. Okay, thumbs up. Perfect. We're going to go ahead and move to it. So one of the things I want to do, we talk about Deacon Thomas all the time, right? He gets on and he always shares, but many times people have no idea that he is really one of actually the founder and creator of this class. And I know he's probably going to kill me for telling you all this, but what happened is a very long time ago, and I don't want to put dates on it because I might mess it up. A very long time ago, the church was, and they actually still do this to this day, especially with the restoration project and stuff. But at the time, they were giving away money to members and people who were in need, something that our church does a very good job at. We are always giving and serving our community. So what happened is Deacon Thomas said, it could be a good idea to start having people who are having these financial challenges to go to a finance class, and we should host that class at our church. So the class actually started with him wanting to serve and help people who were in financial crisis to have better financial planning and things like that. And that's what the class actually birthed from. So he created the class, and he's very good at what he does. He puts great people together and helps to navigate the processes. So he puts people in their strengths and allow them to do what they do, is what he would say. And I'd like to call him a good coach, because he is always in the background coaching and helping out and wanting everybody to be the greatest they can be. So I am going to introduce Deacon Thomas to the call. He's going to take over at this point, and I'm still, of course, going to be here with you, Deacon Thomas, but it is all yours. Are you ready to go?
Hey, Candace, awesome job as usual. I'm excited about this Money Matters class we started about 10 years ago, and just a little variation to that story. You got it almost just right. As everybody knows, at St. Mark, we give away about 10% of all the money we collect back to our members, and that's called helping people when life happens. And we still do that to this day. And the pastor said, Charles, we give back a lot of money. And since you're in the finance and financial advisor area, can you create something that we can teach these guys so they don't have to come back, so they can maintain their own dignity? I said, Pastor, whatever you want me to do, I do it. And I always remember Pastor Hershey's first thing he says, Charles Thomas, what's your availability? That's his favorite word. I said, whatever I need to do to serve, Pastor. I'm not Pastor Hershey, I'll get it done. But at the time, it was Pastor Steve at that time. And we kind of put this thing together, and it evolved over the last 10 years. So I'm excited to have so many qualified people online. Marcus, of course, with the bank, member of St. Mark. Candace, of course, we drafted her after she took the class. Jamil, David. These guys are very qualified. Also, I want to pay homage to one of our elders, Chris. Chris Bell is one of the guys. He took the class. He's also was instructor. LaToya Cheatham. Those guys weren't able to participate this year. We do appreciate what they created with their services being here. Candace, we're just excited about your growth. A lot of guys may not know about Candace, but Candace got a master's in psychology, social work. Okay. And at the time we was doing some work together, and she said, hey, I don't want to be in social work. I want to be an entrepreneur. I said, you sure you want to be an entrepreneur? And Candace, you can tell me the rest.
Oh, the rest is history. Oh man, I love entrepreneurship. It's the best thing that could have happened to me.
Yeah, she's done a phenomenal job. Just kind of get this street stuff in my head, whatever's going on there. Anyway, she's done a phenomenal job in her business, and I grow in her business, and I definitely endorse what she does. Anybody on this call, from Arvest to David at the law firm, all these guys are experts at what they do. Now tonight, of course, we're going to go through some information dealing with investing. However, it's going to be kind of a fast-moving class, kind of just scratch the surface in a lot of areas because there's a lot of information to cover. Just a lot of information to cover. We just can't cover it all in one night. So I'm going to go ahead and share screen here, Candace.
And 1 second.
Okay.
Gotcha. You should be good to go.
Okay, cool. We'll get going here. Let's see where we are. I think we're over here somewhere. Let's see. Okay, can you see that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good deal. We'll start this slideshow here. And some of the stuff, let me stop sharing and do it again. Whatever that line is up there, pops up there. Let's try it again here. Okay, there it is. Nice clean one there. Oh, it's not working there. Stop sharing again. Okay, let's try it again. Maybe this one will work better. Okay, great. Here we go. All right. I like to call this course the Bringing It All Together. This is the last class of 7 weeks, of course. And now I want to kind of bring it all together. And this next chart is going to explain that. We started off talking about the budgeting, the taxes and all that stuff. We got into the credit management, got into the mortgages, got into the insurance. Now we're into the investing and retirement planning. And we like to call these your foundational principles, and all these things in order. Now you created a foundation for yourself, okay? This is kind of an interesting slide to me because you guys have actually, over the last 7 weeks, have went through what I call a financial planning class. Typically, you come to a financial advisor, you're going to sit down and go through everything you went through over this last 7 weeks about your life, and the financial advisor is going to put together a recommendation for you. And most of the time, they charge you somewhere between $1,500 to $2,500 to do what we've done over the past 7 weeks. I want you to understand that only 28% of the households have a comprehensive financial plan. And having a comprehensive financial plan, ladies and gentlemen, is nothing but trying to identify your number. When I say your number, what number is going to take you where you need to be, so when you get ready to retire, you're going to be in an area of peace and comfort where you're not worrying about money. What's that number? Is it $1 million? Is it $2 million? But just put this in the back of your heads. $1 million at 6% interest generates about $60,000 a year. If you can comfortably get 6%, $2 million would generate about $120,000 a year, which is about $10,000 a month. Before I move from this slide, I want you to understand how simple this is. If you got a pile of money that's paying you $4,000 a month or $5,000 a month or $6,000 a month, that's a residual-based income you created from working all those years. And the most important thing to do, when you add your Social Security and all that stuff together, it all kind of comes together. So as we go through this, I'm going to show you what looks right. Here's the financial plan that most people should have. The life insurance, the wealth, the stocks, and all that kind of stuff. But here's what most people start at. They like to start with that to speculate. They want to speculate. They want to get into investments, gold, and all that kind of stuff. But that basic plan down there isn't ready. So what we've done tonight, over the last 7 weeks, we put your house in order. This is what your house should look like financially, okay? Now, I covered this on the very first class, 7 roadblocks that may not get you to the section you want to get to. This is what I want somebody, I want you guys to take all your mics off right now, and I need you to say this together for me, because we spent these 7 weeks, and I don't need procrastination to be the problem that's going to keep you from having success. So everybody, take those mics off, and I want you to read this. Procrastination.
Never get around to planning for business. I really shouldn't practice it. Perhaps I'll stop tomorrow.
Perhaps
I'll stop tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you. Now, the only thing I ask from you guys, please, and I'm going to say this, please Do not procrastinate on information you've learned. Take action after tonight. Please take action, okay? Success is an attitude. Got to change your mindset. Let's talk a little bit about Social Security. This is really important because Social Security is a major part of your retirement plan. Make sure you got your 40 quarters in. The replacement rate somewhere around 59 or 24%, depending on your income. And for you to collect full benefits, you got to be at that designated retirement age. Let's see what that looks like. If you were born from 1937 and earlier, at age 65, you can get full benefits, okay? If you was born between 1943 and 1954, it's 66 years. And most of you guys in this call probably was born after 1960. So it's around 67 years. So whatever you do, take a look at your number. And for you to get full benefits, you got to be at that particular age. Now, I gave you guys a homework assignment earlier. And the homework assignment was based off of what your Social Security table looked like, okay? Make sure you got your 40 quarters in. Make sure you understand that every year before age 6, every year after age 62, if you retire at age 62, what it's going to cost you from 62 to your full retirement age. A lot of people do retire at 62, which is fine. But if you're working and you're healthy, you can handle your job, you can stick around age 66 in 2 months to 66 in 6 months. It'll be worth that time invested if you like what you do. If you don't like what you do, you got bad health and things going on with you, take age 62 and walk with it, as long as your other investments are in place, okay? Now, any questions on this particular area? Any questions?
Hey, what is the penalty per year? Is it 10%? What's the penalty per year if I retire 62 versus 67?
You're giving up right at about 30%. Yeah, it's a pretty big hit. If you wait to age 70, the cost, the benefit almost doubles. Okay, take a look at that SSS.gov, SSA.gov. It'll tell you specifically if you retire at age 62, 66, and age 70. It'll tell you exactly what you would get during those ages. Any other questions? Make sure you got those 40 quarters in. 40 quarters is nothing but 10 years of work history to get full benefits. That also qualifies you for the disability benefits too. This is a major part of your retirement planning. Okay. Real quickly, I'm going to talk a little bit about time. If you guys got young kids, even yourself, understand what it costs for waiting. Here's the goal of $500,000 at age 65. Kid starts out at 25, it costs him $79 a month. If he waits 10 years, just 10 years, the same goal to getting that $500,000 costs him $220 a month. So the objective, once you guys learn this information, you got young kids or whatever, get them started. If you have to start it yourself, just get them started into some investments so they can learn these principles, okay? Age 55, $2,000 a month, 31 times more. Now, that $3.33 we've been talking about this whole 7 weeks at 10%, this is what those same numbers look like at $100 a month. The same kid that's trying to generate $500,000, if he add another $21 to it, from age 25, he grows to $637,000. If he waits just 1 year, it cost him $61,580 because now his total is only $576. So ladies and gentlemen, when you start your investment programs, your 401ks, and you're not participating, please participate because time and procrastination is costing you money. That same kid at age 25, at age 40, the same dollars being spent, he'd only accumulate $133,000. So don't let time get in your way, okay? Now let's talk a little bit about the 401k so you guys understand the benefit of what that 401k looks like. Here's an example. Here's a person making $4,000 a month. They taxes somewhere around $480 a month. Their net income they bring home is around $3,520. It's okay, Charles. Got this $3,520. I'm going to save $200. So their take-home pay is $3,320. Now, if that same individual is making $4,000, and I took that $200 of money and put it inside their 401k, the taxable income would be $3,800. The tax would drop down to $456, take-home pay $3,344. Just by participating in the 401k, which is a pre-tax retirement plan, they brought home $24 more per pay period. Pretty powerful, isn't it? I'm going to show you why here in a minute. Any questions about that 401k though? Let's get back to that. I want to make sure you guys understand. Any questions about what you're looking at there? Any questions? So it makes sense to participate in the 401k because you're saving money on taxes, $24 more take-home pay, okay? Now, these are what we call plan investments, 401k, 403b, Roth, traditional RA, Roth RA, 529 college plans. All these things what we call plan investments set up by the IRS tax code. Now, when I say plan investments, the names is nothing but a name. These names have to be funded. I want you to get this because sometimes people say, oh, my 401k investment, well, it's a 401 investment plan, but if you don't put anything in it, it's not an investment, okay? There are a lot of different tools that you can use to put money inside your 401k. Just remember, the IRS set this up as a way for people to save money on their own and get tax advantage status. A 401k is something, and a Roth RA, Roth 401k, well, not the Roth, the 401k is a pre-tax and a Roth 401k is an after-tax. I want you to get that, okay? After-tax means your net income. The 2022 annual contribution limit is $20,500. So the question, when do I need to max this thing out to $20,500? It's when all your other tax advantages run out. When you funded your Roth IRA, that's when you want to come back and max your 401k. Charles, why would I max this? Because you put $20,500 inside your 401k or whatever you put inside your 401k, it comes off the top of your income like you never earned it. Real simple. If you never earned it, then when you get ready to file your taxes, it's not counting your taxable income, okay? Now, if you're over age 50, you can add up to $27,000 if over age 50. That means that's called a catch-up provision inside the 401k, the Roth 401k. A lot of you guys have 401ks in your jobs that offer a Roth 401k. So why would you want to participate in that? The 401k is pre-tax and the Roth 401k is after tax. So what does that mean? As money builds up inside that Roth 401k, and you get ready to take it out, you don't pay taxes on it. Very important. You do not pay taxes on it. So if you had $100,000 in the Roth part of your 401k and you started taking it out, you pay zero taxes. Ladies and gentlemen, let me ask you one question. Do you think taxes in this country are going to go up or come down? What do you guys think? They're going up, aren't they? So why are the taxes going to go up? Let me share a true story with you so you can understand where our country is on entitlements. When Mr. Obama administration, they came out with the health insurance plan, there was really no money to fund the health insurance plan. They went out and found money, all right? So where'd they find this money at, Charles? They found it in the small business and the businesses to fund that particular program. Let me give you a real live example. I've got two separate clients. I got one client, she works for herself and her husband works for himself. Before the Obama plan, they were spending about $350 to $400 a month for health insurance, okay? After the Obama plan, that cost went down to $70 a month. Now keep in mind, these guys are making a couple $100,000 a year. But because they can utilize all the tax benefits and write-offs, they were able to get their health insurance for $70 a month. All right, keep that in the back of your head, from $400 to $70 a month. Now, the other business owner who owns a small shop that's got 5 employees, he was spending somewhere between $300 and $400 for his family. He's also providing some dollars for his employees to offset their costs. With the new plan, his cost went from $400 to $1,600 a month for, guess what? The same family of 4. Now he can't provide anything for his employees. Now, I don't want you guys to get this wrong. I am all for the Obama plan. I just want you to understand where the money came from. The money came from the small business, and the federal government is offsetting it. Let's say a person's got a full-blown health insurance plan and they're spending $70 a month. Blue Cross is still going to charge that person $600, $800, or $900 a month for the same plan. So who's offset that plan? The federal government is offsetting that plan. So what does that mean? The only way the federal government can raise money is through taxation. I just need you to understand the principles of how this thing works with funding with the federal government. So what that means is this 401k, I personally believe this 401k within the next 7 to 15 years is going to be taxed differently. I want you to get that. It's going to be taxed differently in a higher rate. Let's say a person is working and they're putting their money near the 20 or 25% tax bracket, okay? And they retire, the tax bracket could be 55% on the same money. So they can put the money in one tax bracket and come out of another tax bracket. That's why the Roth retirement plan is so important from the 401k perspective and from the Roth IRA perspective. You put your money in, you take it out tax-free. That's what it boils down to. So understand this government will raise taxes. And if you got your money in any of these Roth products, you can get grandfathered when they change the rules, okay? The 403B is just like the 401k, it's pre-tax, mostly with nonprofits, hospitals, and things of that nature. The Roth 403B works the same. The traditional RA works just like a regular 401k. That means that whatever you put in, it comes off the top of your income. When this money comes out, it comes out at ordinary income tax. That means if it comes out of you in a 35% tax bracket, that's what you're going to pay. So this is very, very important to understand how these plans work when we're talking about setting aside money for long-term retirement. Now, any questions before I leave this page? Any questions? Good time to ask questions.
So which one would be better if you're getting ready to retire now, if you had put your money in the Roth IRA or the traditional?
Well, the Roth IRA is always better. However, if you got money inside a traditional IRA or a 401k, you want to put it over into a Roth, you got to pay the taxes on that money that you never paid on it. That means the conversion rate with the taxes, you got to pay that tax to convert it over to that Roth product. Now, I tell people all the time, if you only got $5, $10, $15, or $20,000 inside a traditional IRA, go ahead and take the hit right now and convert that thing to a Roth IRA. It's really important because when you convert it to a Roth IRA, now you're in what I call the tax-free status. That means as that money starts growing over the next 15, 20, 30 years, you never pay taxes on it. It'll always come out tax-free. That's a huge advantage, huge.
There's a question in the chat that says if you get a part-time job after starting Social Security, can the Social Security amount increase?
Well, if you start Social Security at 62 or 65, you're not going to increase your Social Security too much more with that. They're going to take money out and your Social Security is pretty much going to stay the same. Matter of fact, if I was 62 or 65 years old and started retirement, I try to exempt out of Social Security. If you could, take all your money, just put it to a regular investment. I don't think you can exempt out, but because the money's not going to count that much toward helping that out. Okay, good question.
So I want to make sure they understood what you said. So you're saying on that part-time job, exempt out, to see if you can exempt out of paying into Social Security and put the money into an investment account?
Absolutely.
All
That's
right.
fine. Now, if you're I think once you reach full retirement, I think 65 or more, I think you make as much money as you want to outside of Social Security. It won't affect your Social Security benefit. That's one of the benefits of returning full retirement. Any other questions? Great time to ask questions.
Deacon Thomas, this is Tanya. So back on the traditional and the Roth IRA. So if I have money in both, and you're saying it's best to transfer money from the traditional to the Roth and take the hit now. How often can you transfer from the Roth? Like if I have more than, what you say, $5,000, $6,000 in my traditional, I mean, do I need to transfer over until I can move it eventually, like 6,000 at a time, or?
Yeah, I just do it all at one time. Take the hit on it and get it out of the way. And the growth of the money growing tax-free, taking it out tax-free will offset that hit you took on that. Unless it's an excessive amount of money. I'm not talking about 100 grand or even 50 grand. Somewhere around up to $20,000, $25,000, it won't hurt you that bad.
But if you're talking like 50 or 100, you would just leave it in traditional?
Yeah, I'd probably just leave it where it says. Too big of a hit to play catch up on. Yeah, it also depends on your age. If a person's younger, they can do that and still play catch up with the good investment selections. They can still do okay. Okay.
Well, define young.
Well, you know, some people work to age 70 and 75. You know, people out there that's you know, what the coach at Duke, he's 75 years old. He's still coaching and working full time. So it depends on what your life looks like, you know.
Okay.
Yeah, works a lot of different ways.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. Here's the beauty of the Roth IRA. We'll get into a little bit more if we have time, but the Roth IRA, guys, allows you to put money in, okay? And whatever you put inside that Roth IRA, even Roth 401k, you can take it out anytime you get ready without any penalties or any taxes. So let's say you were putting $6,000, $6,500 a year inside your Roth IRA. You did that for 5 years. Then you got over $30,000 in there, and that money has grown to maybe $50,000 or $60,000. You have a major emergency. Well, I need $20,000. I need $10,000 for an emergency outside of your other emergency funds. You can actually go in there and take that money out, no penalties and no taxes, because the money's already been pre-taxed. That's the beauty of the Roth product. Okay. Let's kind of get any more questions in this area. Any more questions?
I have one.
Okay.
As far, is this the contribution that we make outside of what we they're already taking out for our 401k? You mean just like what we contributed on our own?
Yeah, the 401k is always tied to the employer, unless you have a side business. If you have a side business, you can set up your own solo 401k along with what your employer has. Okay, but the actual 401k is always tied to your employer. Very important. Somebody got the hand raised. Who was that? Can you see them, Candace? Latrice, go ahead.
Yes, sir. I have a question. It's pertaining to my daughter's finances. She is a nurse, and she recently left working for a hospital here in Little Rock to do travel nursing. And so she has not been contributing to a retirement plan. So I was wondering what would be your suggestions for her in terms of the money she's earning and where she should, start putting her in?
If she currently was working for a company that had a 401k, now she's working as a travel nurse, which they don't offer that particular benefit as a travel nurse. And of course, she needs to roll that money over to her own personal IRA account. Now, money that's been pre-taxed in a regular 401k, that money has to be rolled into a traditional IRA. Or if she has not accumulated a whole lot of money, she can roll that money over into a Roth IRA. Okay, depends how much money is there, how big a hit she got to take, plus how old she is. If she's a lot younger, she can take the hit and offset that and make sure over the next 20, 30 years, she can make good investments. She can recover that money pretty easily.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Deacon Thomas.
Yeah, go ahead.
I have a question, the Roth versus the traditional IRA. Just want to be sure I understand the main bullet points. So the Roth IRA, if you invest some monies in that Roth, it has to stay there 5 years, right, before you can touch it. Is that right?
Well, the earnings, no, that's really not totally accurate, because you can put money inside the Roth IRA, the money that you put in, you can put it in there next year, turn right back around and take it out.
Okay, are you going to be, but you'll be taxed on it, right?
No, you're only taxed on the earnings. I always remember that. Whatever you put in is called the basis. It's called basis, it's called cost basis, okay? Now, anything you earn over your cost basis is what you're gonna get. If you take it out, you're gonna get the penalties and the taxes on it, if you take it out before retirement.
And so the traditional IRA, whatever you invest in it, you can withdraw at any time, but you pay taxes on it up front, right? Is that the
Well,
difference?
all of them are based around age 59 and a half. There's an age protocol there. So if you got a traditional RA, and let's say you put money in there and you took the tax benefit over those years, okay? And let's say you're 55. You got 100 grand sitting in there, you're 55 years old. And you want to go in there and take some money out. Whatever you take out of that traditional RA before age 59 and a half, you're going to pay taxes and you're going to pay a 10% penalty. And plus, you're going to probably deal with a 20% withholding from that particular investment.
Okay.
Very important. Very important.
Thank you.
Good question. Who's next?
Charles. This is Charles.
Hey, Charles.
Okay, I'm on Social Security, disability Social Security, and I have money. I have money in a 401k with my job, which I'm not acting no more. So, what's the best for me to do with my 401k? I haven't touched it. So, how would that work?
You need to move it. You need to move it to your own personal RA account, and your personal RA account will be your own personal investment account. You have to find whatever kind of investment to put that in. There's several things to look at, from a very safe investment to a managed account. There are a lot of different things to look at when you get ready to move that money, Charles. But you need to move it. Do not leave your money with your employers, guys. Do not do that. Okay.
That's important, Mr. Thomas, because many times when we think that we're leaving the money over there and it's safe and it's still actually participating in the market. So we want to definitely have a meeting about that. And I recommend reaching out if you need some assistance to contact us on the email, so that if you need some assistance with that, we can be able to assist you with it. That's important.
Absolutely.
Should taxes come out? There's a question here. Should the taxes come out of a traditional IRA and transferring to the Roth, or should you pay for it separately?
Well, it kind of depends on your situation. Now, listen, this is a great scenario for you. Let's say February or March of this year, you have a traditional IRA, you're going to roll it over to a Roth, and you're going to have a tax benefit. Let's say that tax on there is $5,000 to $7,000. You have a tax liability of $5,000 to $7,000. Now, when they withhold money out for taxes, typically it's 20%. All right. Now, what if you had a little side business on the side to offset that over that 8 or 9 month period? Did you know you can offset that tax liability with a side business using side business strategies? So it depends on the situation, but ordinarily, if you don't have a side business or intend to use a side business as a strategy to offset your tax liability, then yes, you want to take a look at that to make sure it's your age, where you are, how much time you're going to need to make those taxes up. But typically, I tell my clients all the time, go ahead and take the 20%. And a lot of times you get part of that 20% back when you file your taxes. You guys got that? Candace, as a tax person, you see that a lot. How does that work from that 20% when people are taking it out up front?
They take it out up front, and if they got someone that really knows some stuff, and can take care of them, they normally get it back. And then in certain situations, depending on what you drew the money out for, if it's an early withdrawal, there's ways where you can maybe waive even the penalty on it, depending on what you were doing. But definitely a side business is the best thing you could do to help offset that tax. That's the only way you can really control your taxes.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
At age 59 and a half, you have to start taking your money out?
No, you don't have to start taking out age 59 and a half. That's a good question too, Ms. Harris, because what a lot of people don't understand, if you do have money inside a 401k, is in a traditional IRA, there's something called an RMD, required minimum distribution. That means at age 70 and a half, I think they may have moved it up to 72, but at that particular age, they force you to take money out of those retirement plans. You just can't let it sit there. They're going to force you to take it out because they got to collect taxes on that money. Very important. Good question. Now, on a Roth IRA, they don't force you to do anything. That money can sit there to age 95. They don't even care. It's your money.
Okay, my next question about the Roth IRA, you're saying you don't have to take nothing out of it. Once you have held the account 5 years, and you continue to put money in, the strategy, I mean, the principles are the same. The growth has to stay there over 5 years, even at that age.
Yeah, the growth is all based around age 59 and a half.
So, okay.
If you're over 59 and a half, you got access to whatever's inside that account. No penalties, no taxes with the Roth IRA. With the traditional IRA, of course, you do pay the current taxes. You don't pay any penalties after age 59 and a half.
So I can still put money in there.
Yes.
And won't be penalized whenever I take any of it out of there once I have had the account for 5 years and I'm 59 and a half.
That's correct.
Thank you.
Good question. Hey, we didn't take a break, don't we, Candace? We just going and going. Yeah.
We do. It's a great time for a break. And while you're on break, if you would fill out our survey, it is in the chat. Tell us how the class was. We're going to take 5 minutes. 5 minutes to, what we're going to do? 5 minutes to take a break. Let's do that.
From I have a decent IRA. All right, let me start over. I have a decent IRA from working. Recently took a new job, so now I'm contributing quite a bit into a 401k. If I opted for the Roth, I'm doing it after tax, so I'm not getting the reduction in my taxable income, correct?
That's correct.
That's my problem. I need that. Okay.
Right. Okay. The two rules of thumb on that, contributing to your 401k. The first rule of thumb is that whatever your employer is putting in, let's say he's putting in 5%. Your first goal is to put in the same thing your employer is putting in. That 5% is 5%. Is about 10% of your income. Okay.
Yes.
Now, secondly, you want to fund a Roth IRA to that $6,000 or $7,000 based off your age.
So can I do that in addition to putting my money in my 401k?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Up to how much?
Up to, depending, under age 50, I think it's $6,000, $6,500, and over age 50 is $7,000. So you can max that part out. Okay. Then
so I can max out a 401k and an IRA?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
I did not realize that. That's good to know.
You got it. Who's
Okay.
next? Okay. Thanks for the question.
Thank you.
Mr. Thomas, is that maxing it out to the maximum of 7,000 between the both of them?
Yeah, you can max out. The IRA is totally different. It's got a different guideline of $7,000. And then the 401k has a max of $27,000 if you're over age 50, $20,500 if you under age 50. So you can take that. That's about $27,500 that you can set aside. Absolutely. If you got a tax issue, make it all pre-tax. What I mean, if it's a tax issue, you're trying to save money on taxes, put as much as you can inside your 401k off the top of your income, so you won't pay as much in taxes, especially if you got a match. But I suggest you do that after you get the Roth IRA, because I'm telling you, the tax rate is going to go up. So if you got a one account that's not paying taxes, another account that you got to pay taxes on, this kind of balance itself out and help you on the taxes. Very important.
Deacon Thomas, you're welcome to go ahead and get started. We're past the break time.
Okay, good deal. Well, we'll move to the next page here, because I want to just give you an example of what that looks like with a 401k. A lot of times people don't participate in their 401ks. So let's just take a short example. A guy putting in $50 a pay period. We're not even talking about his employer putting in, just what he's putting in per pay period. His actual reduction is $37.50. The reason it's $37.50 and not $50 because that money came out before taxes. So 25% of his contribution is actually coming from money he saved in taxes. At the end of the year, he still gets an annual deferral credit of $1,300. But really, what only came out of his pay is $975. Over 20 years, that's $61,000, 25, 98, and 30 years, $153,000. Now, just assume that the employer was putting in $50 a pay period too. Those numbers would more than double based off the compound interest. So it's very, very important, guys, participate in your 401ks and 403bs. Find that money. You got to put it in there. It's too important. Too important. Okay. And you see the numbers. You're $100. Let me get back to that real quick. $100 right there is actually $75, which is $19.50 a year. But $100 a pay period at 8% interest is $306,000 over a 30-year period. $123,000 over a 20-year period. So there's no reason why the average person with a good retirement plan or 401k plan, they shouldn't have $250,000. Okay. Won't spend a lot of time there. Just know you need to be putting money inside your 401k. When I told you guys to pull that homework and find out what your employer was contributing and also what the projection gonna look like by the time you get ready to retire, it was all based around this particular concept of understanding what you have. So you're not just going to work and leaving and going home every day, and you just kind of living in obscurity when it comes to this important information. This is stuff that you need to have to put your financial foundation together so you know what your future looks like. Very important. Now, I want to talk about this just for a quick second, because right now, inflation is about as high as it's ever been in a lot of years, last 10, 15 years. And I tell people all the time, they say, investing is risky. I say not investing is risky, because take a look at these numbers. See, inflation is the cost of goods and services going up all the time, right? Cup of coffee, $1.50. If the average rate of inflation is just 3% over the next 20 years, that cup of coffee would be at $8 at McDonald's. Okay. Well, $3, I'm sorry, $3. Milk, $3 would be at $7.28. Going to the movies would be at $19.42. Guys, you got to invest to offset the increase of inflation. Okay. Now, Candace, help me out here. We're going to switch over to go to some Revive Investments accounts. I want you to go to Morningstar. Let me stop sharing the screen and give it to you. We're going to go to some actual areas, guys, so you can see how to read some investments and how to take a look at your stuff inside your portfolios, how to evaluate it to make sure it's a good investment. Let's go to Morningstar for me, and we'll do a 1-2 punch on this so we can show these guys how to evaluate their current investments inside their 401ks. Okay. Any questions, guys, before we get into this live stuff that you need to know about investments or things of that nature? This is a good time.
If you have a 529 plan and you retired, is it best to go ahead and take your money out?
Now, you know what a 529 plan is, don't you?
Yeah.
Now, how are you going to take money out of a 529 plan if you're not a student? Are you a student?
No.
Okay. Guys, what she's talking about is a 529 is a college savings plan that's set aside. You can put up to $300,000 in that plan. And that plan can be passed on to the parent or the student. If the student don't go to school, it turns into what I call like a regular investment. Okay.
Right.
And at that point, if the student then used the money kept accumulating, yes, take that money out and start using like a 401k. Absolutely.
Okay.
Good
I
question.
have a question.
Okay, go ahead.
How long should you invest money into your IRA after you retire? Like if you still have money going into it, should you forever or what?
Well, the money inside your IRA account is your money forever, okay? It just depends on what kind of investment is in. If that investment, say while you were younger, during your working years, was in an aggressive type investment, when you retire, you might want to change the investment on to make sure it's more conservative so you don't lose any money. So I'm going to show you in a minute, markets do go up and down. They do go up and down. Matter of fact, go to Fidelity first. I'm going to show these guys what the markets do so you can understand what Candace was talking about earlier about buying when the market is down. Right now, all across the world, the market is down, only in a couple other areas that it's up in. Energy, materials and stuff like that is up. But I'm going to show you how to look at this stuff on Fidelity first, okay? Probably should take that second one down there. Hopefully we can get there with this one. Let's see. Yeah. If you guys are on here, take notes on this. Ken's going to go to what we call investment products.
So before we go there, Deacon Thomas, because I know it's going to get a lot more questions after this.
Okay.
So let me address a couple of questions in the chat. So what about a pension? I have a pension that's sitting in a fund that is not making any transactions anymore. What should I do with that pension?
Well, if you're still working for the employer, that question has to be kind of qualified a little bit more. Do you have a pension and you're still working for the employer? Or do you have a pension that you're drawing right now from the employer? Probably a little bit more qualifications on that, because most pensions, you don't put those things in place until after you're not working for them anymore. Okay, yeah, if you're not working for the employer anymore and you selected a pension, which is a guaranteed annuity, they're going to pay you a certain amount of money each month for a certain period of time, then you lost total control of that pension and where the money is being invested in. It's the company and the annuity they put you in, it controls that pension from the future, okay? It's not a pension is not like a 401k. It does not give you options after you retire on what you can do with it. Good question.
All right. When you contribute to a Roth IRA, should you contribute monthly just like a regular investment?
Absolutely. That's that dollar cost averaging class Candace taught on. When you put money down monthly, guys, when the market goes down, the market is on sale. You get excited when the market goes down because you can buy more shares. So when the market go back up, it always comes back up. Those share prices are going to be worth a whole lot more. So absolutely, I think all investments should be done pretty much monthly. If you're going to put, here's an example, if you're going to put $70,000 a year inside of a Roth IRA or any kind of IRA, I suggest you put maybe 500 to $1,000 in there to start it, then take the other money and do it on a monthly basis so you can take advantage of that dollar cost averaging. Good question.
If you have a 401k plan with an employer and you work there for many years and get fired, can your employer keep you from getting your retirement? That's the first question.
Well, not really. Candace talked earlier about something called a vesting table, okay? Sometimes when an employer is putting money inside your, well, you said many, many years, so you're probably past the vesting table. And the vesting table is concerning the amount of money they put in for you on your behalf, okay? If you're vested, then you can take that money and do whatever you want. It's your money. You can roll. If you're fired, especially, roll it into your own personal investment. See? And stuff we're going to talk about right now are some tools and some vehicles that you can roll money into from your 401ks.
That's good. So the secondary question to that was the difference between a pension and a 401k.
Absolutely. That's one of my favorite questions. I don't have enough time to talk on it tonight. But a pension is when the employer guarantees you an income after working for so many years. It's guaranteed. And that pension is also guaranteed by the Pension Guarantee Corporation, which is a federal corporation, okay? Now, a 401k, it's all on you. You are the financial advisor for your 401k. That means that you need to understand your 401k and what investments are in there. And that 401k can go up and down. That pension is not going to go up and down. It's a guaranteed steady income until the day you die. Or if you die, that means it may have a provision in there where your spouse or some of your beneficiaries can get part of that pension. Most time it doesn't go past the spouse though, okay? Good question.
Right. Good deal. Let's go ahead and get here because I know we don't want to miss them. They don't want to miss this.
Yeah. Let's get on those investment, look on the investment products here. Go to mutual funds. And guys, this is on Fidelity Investments. Any of you guys can go in there and do the same thing we're doing now. But that Fidelity Investments is a tool that a lot of financial advisors use along with Charles Schwab to evaluate and look at different mutual funds, stocks, and that stuff, okay? When you go on Fidelity Investments, it says Morningstar highly rated funds. You see that? That means Morningstar is an independent rating agency. It's not owned by Fidelity, but they use it as a tool that people like you and I, retail investors, can go there and take a look at to decide what kind of fund we want to go to. The first thing you want to do on this particular tool is see what it says Morningstar ratings. You go over there and you hit 3 stars or more. Okay, 3 stars or more. Hit returns right there. Hit the middle section right there. Middle section. Well, just put high returns. I like that. I like that. That catches everything. High returns. And expenses, of course, you want to put the low. Let's see here. 3 stars or more. Put that returns in the center, Candace, in the center there, okay? Okay, good deal. And expenses in middle ways, okay? Put the expenses kind of middle ways there, okay? Okay, as you guys see, there's 2,985 funds based off that criteria, okay? It says management approach, click all, Candace, where it says management approach, all. Now click those 2,985 funds. Now, this is the good part because this is where everything's going to come together on the class we've been teaching for the last couple of days. Because right now you're going to see red. See all that red right there? See it red? Just scroll down, Candace. Red, 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 red. See all that red? So what they're telling us right now in the market, guys, that the market right now is down during the first quarter of this particular year. Everybody see that? Now, what did we get to? What's going on?
1 second. Give me one.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
I clicked it on accident. There we go.
Okay.
To get back to where we were. Okay.
Now, here's what I want to show you that's important about what you're looking at. I want you to take a look at where it says 1 year, 3 year, 5 year, and 10 year in life of the fund. All evening, this whole class, we've been talking about 8%, 10%, 12% returns. In the first part of this class, we told you we're going to show you where you can get these particular returns at. If you notice right here, Fidelity's top 3 funds up there, if you'd have bought any of these funds a year ago, you'd have a 24, 1.9, or 7.2% return. Now, the first quarter has wiped out a lot of that particular return from the year before. But let's take a look at the 10-year return, because the 10-year return tells me about the history. Anytime you're going to invest, I suggest it all depends on where you are age-wise too, and what kind of investor you are. But I would never invest in a fund that I couldn't get double-digit returns historically if it doesn't have a history over the last 10 years. Let me show you why. You see this Fidelity Semiconductor portfolio fund is down right now, but let's click on that fund. Let's take a look at his history. Take a look at the history there real quick, the history. History is a good indicator, but not a guarantee what the future looks like. But history talks about how well they manage this fund. As you can see on the very left corner where it says Morningstar Snapshot, this is a 5-star rated funds. Returns are high, expenses are low, risk category, not high, kind of moderately aggressive. But take a look at those numbers. Take a look at those numbers, okay? Now, if you had took $10,000 10 years ago, you see this chart right here? Invest in this particular account and take to the very top, Candace, up there. The purple is Fidelity. Everybody see that purple up there? That's Fidelity. So if you took $10,000 one time and put in this fund 10 years ago, this fund would have $100,663 in it. Now, this year they're down the first quarter. But my question to you, is that a good fund? Yes, it's a good fund. Now, take a look at that Morningstar category on technology. You got the purple, you got the light blue, you got the orange, you got the burgundy. Those are what we call benchmarks. When you look at a particular fund, that's a benchmark. The S&P 500 is a list of the top 500 companies in the United States. It's not managed, it's not controlled. Those companies go up and down in value. So if you took $10,000 and invested in what we call a S&P index fund, okay? S&P index fund that's totally unmanaged, is just gonna do whatever those 500 companies did, that particular fund would have $42,000 in it. Y'all see that? So that's the benchmark. Now get this, guys, 85% of management companies that manage funds do not outperform the S&P 500. This is real, real important because a lot of time when people are talking about managing money, you need professional money managers. This is a mutual fund that has a professional money manager, and they're managing this fund based off of technology and semiconductors. If you had your money there 10 years ago, you'd be $100,000 richer. Yeah, the market is down a little bit. Let's go down a little bit further. Look at their history. Scroll on to the bottom there some more, to the very bottom. Oh, let's see here. Come back up a little bit. Let's see. There should be a history one there. Let's see. Yeah, there it is right there. Scroll down there. Okay. Yeah, come on down. Yeah. Right there, right there. That's what I'm looking for, right here. This is the historical on this semiconductors portfolio. And you can see for the last 10 years, they've actually only had one down year, which is in 2018. Even with that down year in 2018 and 15% in the first quarter of this year, that fund still produced $100,000. So you tell me right now, eight out of the 10 years, they were positive with their returns. And they had some very good returns there. Now, why is this semiconductor fund down? Well, the United States has had a shortage on semiconductors. For all the manufacturing, cars and everything, has been a huge shortage. So this particular fund hasn't performed well this first quarter. That's why it's down, okay? But overall, I would pick this fund any day of the week right now to start putting money in, at least $100 a month or $50 a month. Because now I'm buying this fund while the share price is down. Do you think the share price is going to come back up? If I take a look at these numbers right here, yes, the share price is going to come back up. So now is a great time to buy this particular fund. Okay, let's go back. Let's take a look at what's in this fund. What's in this fund? See where it says composition? It tells me to the right over here, the top holdings. NVIDIA Corporation, Marvel Technology, Microchips, Teradyne. Guys, these guys, they know what they're doing. 94% of their money is invested in U.S. companies. Domestic equities mean U.S. companies. International equities mean international companies. Okay? Developed markets mean markets that are already developed. Emerging markets mean markets that are being developed. Places that certain parts of the world that they have developing markets, they're emerging. They're not there yet. So this is just a real simple example of how to invest into a mutual fund, and how to evaluate one. Let's go back to the very top there, Candace. Let's talk about the, you see the FSELX over there? Everybody see that? That's the symbol for that particular mutual fund. You say, okay, Charles, how much does it cost to buy a fund like this on a monthly basis? How much money do I need to start with? Well, let's take a look at it and see what it says. Go right to the top there, Candace. See fees and distribution there. Okay. Fees and distribution. Yeah. Got everybody see that? Go back to where you work, Candace. I think that was it. Summary. Let's see here. Yeah, there it is right there. Under the details under the summary, it's a technology fund. It started in 1985. How much does it cost to get started? $0. You can start with $25 a month. Everybody see that?
No.
So guys, management is everything. When you buy a mutual fund, these are professional money managers that's managing your money. If you had to go hire one of these guys as an individual just to manage your money, you need at least $1 million in assets just to talk to them. But mutual funds, when you pool all the money together among other investors, and whatever share you earn is what you earn. For instance, let's go to the sector investor real quick. Go to sector. Guys, what area you think right now is real hot for investing right now, just based on what you know about the market? Anybody tell me that? What area you think is real hot right now, just based off the market?
I mean, like gas or something.
Medical.
What is it?
Medical field.
Okay,
Anything
medical
to do
field.
with medicine because of COVID.
Okay. Somebody said health. We're gonna go to sector. Excuse me?
Electric cars.
Electric cars, okay, that's really good. It's been hot for a while now. Let's go down, Candace, where it says sector investing.
Well, I thought I did, but I don't know.
Now just click on mutual funds. We'll scroll down to the sector part. This Fidelity site is so amazing, guys. It says sector investing. Yeah, right there, sector investing. You can come right here and take a look at what's hot. I think energy ought to be pretty hot. Click on energy right now. Energy. Let's click on these two funds right here. Sector mutual fund right there. Click on that. Now, go ahead and open that up. They said, what does it take to get started, get set up? That's really easy, yeah. And I just showed y'all some funds with all red. Y'all remember that a while ago? All red funds, red. Now here's a fund. Year to date is at 33% this year. Is that amazing? Fund been around since 1981. Just a good place to invest money right now. But if I look at the 10-year history, it's 1.5%. If I look at the 3-year history, 9.21%. The reason I want to show you this fund, because you can't chase hot funds or hot situations. You got to get a money manager that manages these particular funds that's going to be consistent. Even when the market goes down sometime, you're still okay with the market going down, because that money manager is going to bring you back. This is a 4-star fund compared to the fund we just saw that's down 14 to 15% this year. But over the last 10 years, they got a double-digit return. Over the last 10 years, these guys got a 1.5% fund. If you put $10,000 in this fund 10 years ago, you'd have $40,000. No, you'd have $9,000. I'm sorry, is that right? What's your thing? Yeah, right there. Yeah, right there. Yeah, you'd have $11,000 in it. The S&P would outperform. Did y'all see that? This is the prime example of looking at funds. You say, "Wow, this fund doing 33% this year. I want that fund." Do you really want that fund? In the last 10 years, that fund only returned $11,655. That's the importance of understanding. You get good managers to manage your funds, and then you stick with those funds. Do not bail out when the market goes down. Buy more, buy more, buy more. Any questions before we move into another area on this? Any questions?
So we got a question that says, can you walk us through what it looks like to get started? I think one of the important things you often say, Deacon Thomas, is the sites want you to invest with them. So if you're starting and you're saying, okay, I want to open a Roth IRA, then you would go to the account, click create an account, just like a bank account. It's actually very simple. They ask a lot of the same questions. And then you would set up a Roth IRA. When you set it up,
let's take 2 seconds. Click on open up a new thing there. Open up a new one there.
Let's do it.
And we won't go through the whole process. We just show where they can find it. Put Fidelity Investments in. This is good stuff.
Oh, I was gonna tell them to just call them.
Yeah, I'm gonna show them how easy they can make this. Yeah, there you go, right there. When you go to Fidelity Investments, go to their site. This is real important. You see where it says open an account up there, at the very top right there? Right here. Can you see it right next to profile, that green customer service profile? Are you there yet?
No, give me a second. I can't see anything.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay. All right.
You see it?
All right. Open an account on the side.
Yeah. See where it says open account, ladies and gentlemen? All you got to do is go through and open an account. And the kind of account you're going to open is going to be a brokerage account, or it's going to be an IRA account. Now, Candace, come off of that and go to where it says customer service up there, okay? Top left corner. See where it says customer service right there? These guys on the 800 number will walk you through step by step what you need to do.
They even contact you right now. Hey, what do you need?
So what I'm saying, we take you through these particular companies because they're so user friendly. They have people working most time 24 hours a day because they're in all these different countries. They'll walk you through everything, but the simplicity of it is that you just go there, just like opening an online bank account, and walk through it, okay? Now, if you need us some help, if you need one of us to help you, send us an email to, what is it, moneymatters@smark.org?
Moneymatters.smart. No, I don't know. I'll have to show it to you.
Okay.
.info or something.
But
It's a little different.
Yeah, if you need some help, send that email, say, I need some help, get this thing open. I'll be happy to call, get on the Zoom and walk you guys through that, or what we need to do. I'll be happy to walk you through it myself personally. Doesn't matter. Yeah, there it is, moneymatters@smark.info. Y'all see that?
Deacon Thomas, I got a question.
Go ahead.
So can you open up multiple accounts at different places like you can in bank accounts, like
Absolutely.
Edward Jones, Fidelity?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Specific. So if I have a Roth IRA with Edward Jones, I can have a Roth IRA with Fidelity.
You sure can, but guess what? You still can't go over the limit with all those together. You can't.
Okay. That's what I was trying to get over. Okay.
Can't get over.
Thank you.
Yeah. But the point is, guys, is that there are a lot of places out here to invest. You would have never known what I showed you tonight if you didn't have somebody to kind of lead you through that process. So don't be afraid to reach out and visit with some professionals to walk you through that process. I need you to know, though, that a lot of stuff that you can do it on your own without paying a whole bunch of money to get somebody to manage your money, okay? And feel free to reach out to us. We'll help and walk you through the process. If you need some help getting walked through. Of course, Candace is in the middle of tax season because she can't help you right now. And if you need to reach out to me, I may have a little bit more time. I can walk you through. Just if you guys want to do this, I think we're going to do probably a class this summer, I think, on advanced investing. We hadn't did it the last couple of summers because of the COVID, of course, but this summer we may get a chance to do one. We'll keep you guys posted on that. But Candace, let's go back to Fidelity. We're at Fidelity. I didn't show them one other thing. Let's go to, what's that, B-Focus fund? Is that the one we always show sometimes? The B-Focus? BFOX, is that it? I can't think of it off the top of my head. There it is right there, Berkshire.
I'm talking to myself.
Yeah, okay.
Berkshire.
Yeah, Berkshire Focus Fund. That's what it is. Berkshire Focus Fund. Yeah. I'm going to show you a high risk fund. Y'all see this fund? Now, this is a high risk fund. But you know what? Where I made a ton of money on this one particular fund right here. You see those returns? 17% in 10 years, 24%, 17.5%. I made a lot of money off those particular funds because I don't have a problem with risk and that kind of thing. Candace, what's the minimum to put in that fund right there? How much is that? $5,000? That's the minimum to put in that fund. So if you had to go to Fidelity and buy that fund, it costs you $5,000 to get in that fund. However, you go to Charles Schwab and get in that fund for probably about $100, okay? The same fund. So use the investment platform with Fidelity to research a lot of your funds, and then go to Charles Schwab if you have to buy that same fund, okay? She's gonna put the same fund in up there. Let's see where you're. BFOX, okay. Is that it? Pop up? No, it didn't pop up.
Did I type it wrong?
I think it's BFOX, I think. We'll take some questions while she's doing that, guys.
It was BFOCX.
BFOCX, okay.
Yeah, that's what I put. It's not.
BFOCX.
Mr. Thomas.
Uh-huh.
This is Sandy again.
Okay.
One of the things I like you giving us all this good, wonderful information.
Yes, ma'am.
And I would just like to share with everybody on the call that I met Mr. Thomas and I had a financial advisor. And after taking these classes, I began to get some knowledge. And so I called my financial advisor and asked him, I said, look, my stuff been in the same place ever since I had my kids. And that was like 16 years ago. I said, should I be making any moves? So if anybody ever tell you, no, your stuff is fine, I'll let you know if you need to move anything. So they will tell you, they will have you thinking that they know everything. But when you get some knowledge like we have now, don't be afraid to question the person that's already handling your money. And when I questioned them, I found out that I really should have been moved my money somewhere else. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Harris, for your testimony. Yeah. Ms. Harris is the action taker, though, guys, and she's relentless. She's gonna get you on that phone. She's gonna make you work for us. So I worked really hard for you, Miss. I didn't send you an invoice, by the way. Just kidding. So, Ken, if you can't get to it, don't worry about it. But at Charles Schwab, that same particular fund, of course, you can get that same fund for about $100 a month instead of having to put in $5,000. So, Kenneth, make sure we let these guys know when the, well, I guess Jamil, if Jamil's not here, we'll be able to let you guys know when we're going to do an advanced class. They got to go over this. Oh, you found it. Okay, cool. Okay, yeah. There's that same fund right there we just saw over there at Fidelity for $5,000, but over here at Charles Schwab, you get that fund for $100 and put at least $1 in there after that. So what I'm saying is that Charles Schwab is a great company. I advise everybody should have a Charles Schwab account. You should probably also have a Fidelity account. They're two of the best, but I'm more, I guess, biased to Charles Schwab. I've been using them for a lot of years, and they're just easy to work with. Okay, now let's go to Morningstar real quick. I need to show these guys about these stocks. And if you got any questions on anything, you guys let me know. let's take a look at, for instance, let's take a look. Somebody got a question?
No.
Okay, let's take a look at ExxonMobil real quick. Put XOM in there for Exxon under the search bar. Yeah, XOM. Right now, everybody know the oil crisis is going on. It's probably saying, I need to buy some oil stock. I need to buy some oil stock. You know, let's take a look at it. You know, let's take a look at how to evaluate it. Okay. The first thing I'm going to look at is the operating performance of ExxonMobil operating performance. I'm going to look at that first. Okay. Hope you guys are writing this down. Always cross operating performance. Yeah. Thank you, Ken. I know I just kind of threw this on you at the last minute. We didn't practice this or nothing. You just jumped in. I appreciate that. Under operating performance, did you operating performance there? Let's see.
Yeah, it's just taking a minute.
Oh, okay. A little slow there. Okay. Okay. This shows the return on assets, which you're really concerned about, that very first topic right there. You see 13, 9, it had drops, it drops, it drops. Okay. That was in 2019, wasn't it? Then it starts creeping back up. It was down in 2020, and now it's at 6.68%. So the question was, how do we think Exxon is going to do with the current oil crisis? And Candace, go to Yahoo Finance real quick for me, because I want to put these two together so we can understand what that looks like. Any company, you get their symbol, you can look at the operating capital looks like, and then go to Yahoo Finance to see the real numbers. Go to Yahoo Finance. You guys please sure to write this down, Yahoo Finance. We got to put their symbol in the XOM. XOM. Okay.
I don't think I did that.
You got Nike? Well, you use Nike. No, just use Exxon.
Nah, it just
that would use Nike.
Yeah. There it is.
Excellent. Yeah, there it is right there. Yeah. Well, what I want to show you here, guys, there's a chart in here. Yeah. There it is, Yahoo Finance. Now you see that chart right there? ExxonMobil right now today closed out at $82.20. That's a blue chip stock, ExxonMobil. So the question is, Charles, would you buy ExxonMobil right now? Absolutely. I'm going to give you a couple of reasons on that. Okay. Candace, take that chart to go back to 1 year. 1 year. Yeah, right there. Now, guys, take a look at ExxonMobil a year ago. What was it? Candace, put your chart. I guess I need to jump on and help you. Yeah, here you go, because I'm working. Yeah, and drop down. That's what it's at $82 now. So drop down to March of 22-21. Right there. Yeah, right there. You guys see that? ExxonMobil was right at about $50-some a share in March. Right there, right there. It was at $57.39 March of last year. So it has grown from $57 up to what? $82. So would ExxonMobil last year have been a good buy? Of course it would have. Now here's my question to you. Do you think with the current crisis in Russia right now, in the US, what we're going through, do you think ExxonMobil is going to go up some more this year?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Yes. Would ExxonMobil be a good buy? Absolutely.
Definitely.
Yeah, see that? So ExxonMobil, Chevron, ConocoPhillips, all those guys right now would be a good move for a short-term gain of the next 12 to 18 months. And if we go over and take a look at the side over here, it says the 1 year target is estimated to be around $87.18, and they're already at $82. They're going to easily surpass that. Right, see that? So we went to Morningstar to take a look at their operating sustainability. Then we came over here at Yahoo Finance to see how well the stock was performing. Very important that you can do that when you're evaluating where you want to buy a company. Now, here's the question. This is a jewel for all you guys tonight. So, Charles, do I have to pay $82 a share for ExxonMobil? What if I want to just put $1,000 in and buy whatever $1,000 I buy? Can I do that? Yes, you can. That's called fractional shares. You can go to Charles Schwab. They got something called fractional shares, and you can buy those fractional shares. ExxonMobil, you see it there? fractional shares. If you don't want to put a certain amount of money there, you can buy what you can afford. Okay, buy what you can afford. Fractional shares allow you to participate without having to buy the entire share. Let's go to Amazon, AMZN. Okay. Amazon closed out today at $3,229. It was up 4.8%. Everybody see that? Now, Candace, go ahead, hit the 1 year on Amazon over there, 1 year. What was Amazon a year ago? Everybody see that? We'll go back all the way to last year. There you go, right there. You just click on there.
It's not letting me click. Let's go over here.
Yeah, let's go back to the other one. Okay. There you go. AMZN. And the reason I'm saying about Amazon, as you guys probably already know, is getting ready to do something pretty phenomenal. And I want you guys to be able to take advantage of that, okay? But let's take a look at Amazon. It's $32.29. What was that 1 year ago? Let's see here. It was at $3,052. Now, Amazon only grew by $200 and some per share over the last year. Y'all see that? It says got a 1 year target of $4,088. Got a lot of growth to do this year. But guess what? Amazon's getting ready to do. Now take a look at this. See what it says value down there? Candace, overvalue. You see that? You guys see that overvalue right there on the screen? Overvalue at the bottom left. Right there. It says Amazon right now is overvalued. You see that? And that's why they had sluggish growth last year in the share price. They're getting ready to sell Amazon or do a split for 20 to 1. So what does that mean? Well, if you bought 3,000, if you bought one share, you get 20 shares. So that means the cost is going to drop down to about $120 a share. Start all over again. You say, well, Charles, I don't have $3,000 to put in Amazon. Well, put $1,000 in there. You get whatever it drops down to. You got to understand, whatever you put inside the investment, if that investment starts going back up at 10% or 20%, if you put $500 or $1,000 in there, your money's going to go up in proportion to that investment going up. So you don't have to have $3,000 to buy Amazon. You can buy it with $500. You can buy it with $1,000. You can buy it with $100. Charles Schwab will allow you to buy something called fractional shares, and you can do that. So, we've got a few minutes left here. Here's what I want to leave with you guys. If you want to put together a good long-term investment portfolio, buy good blue chip stocks, buy good blue chip mutual funds that's got history, and buy some emerging markets. When I say emerging markets, what am I talking about? I'm talking about the electric car stuff. I'm talking about Candace, how much was Moderna when I told you guys to buy that about a year or so ago?
Oh, it was so low.
$40-something a share, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was low.
And what is it, $350 a share now?
Correct.
Within the last 2 years.
We made good money.
Neo, Tesla back in, was it 19 or 20? Might have been 20.
20. They did.
It was 20. Tesla did a 41 split in 20 when the share price went down to about I think it was at $1,600 to $2,000 a share. And it went down to $300 or $400 a share. Then they're back up again, growing all over again. So buy the blue chip companies that's got good sustainability and they're stable. They're going to go up and down periodically, but they're not going anywhere. See, Tesla is a technology company. If you're not a car company, it's a technology company. You got your Teslas, your Amazons, your Googles, your Facebook, your Microsofts. You can't go wrong with building that kind of portfolio. You can't go wrong with buying mutual funds on Fidelity and BlackRock and Vanguard and T. Rowe Price that's got these 10-year histories. You can't go wrong. So get into investing, have your goals set, 3 to 5 years, 10-year goals and retirement goals. And if you're close to retirement, try to get some safe investments, because taking a 20 or 30% down in 1 year could take you 3 or 4 years just to get back to even. So it'd be in retirement or really close to retirement. And lastly, everybody needs about 5 or 10% of the money inside their portfolio for speculation. That means you can speculate on some stuff. I didn't have time tonight to get into cryptocurrencies. Boy, I really wanted to get into that. We get into that in another class, I guess, but it's just a lot of stuff to cover. And I want you guys to get the gist of how to just go in there, take some money and start investing. If you need an advisor or something, reach out and get you an advisor to walk you through the process and hold your hand. But don't spend a whole lot of money for somebody to teach you something. And let me tell you about advisors real quick. I got a few minutes here. A lot of time advisors are forced to sell products that are proprietary to their companies. So if you can, try to find you an independent advisor who doesn't care if you put the money with T. Rowe Price, Fidelity, or where you put the money. He's not forced to sell a company proprietary product, which means he's not unbiased to the information he's going to give you. Okay. So any questions concerning any of that stuff, reach out to the email or call us. And we'll talk. We'll walk you off the ledge. We'll talk you through it.
Yeah. So Deacon Thomas, I think one of the things I want to make sure that you maybe mention again is the concept around Amazon. So a lot of people miss the Tesla split because they didn't understand.
Okay.
So you're telling me that if I take, let's call it $6,000, put it into Amazon right now, I would buy 2 shares, right?
That's correct.
About $6,000. So that's not a lot. Doesn't seem like a lot. But then when they do the split, can you explain to me what happens when they do the split with my 2 shares?
It's called 20 to 1. So for every 1 stock you get 20 shares. So you go ahead and spend $6,000 and buy 2 shares. And when they do the split, you get 40 shares.
Wow.
Yeah. And those 40 shares start growing all over again at a lower price because the price is a lot lower. So guess what? More people are going to buy it now. So your share price could automatically do what?
Shoot up.
That's so good. Don't miss the Amazon split. I think it's coming up in June, somewhere like that. Make sure you get in position you can buy that Amazon split. Okay. And if you only bought 1/3 of a share, at $1,000, you still would pick up 5 or 10 shares out of that 1/3 proportionally.
That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Awesome.
Any questions?
We only have a few minutes, but I want to make sure that we do the questions, Deacon Thomas. So we won't leave just because it's 8. Any questions?
Yeah. I'm gonna do the questions. I'm not running off anywhere.
I got a question about the cryptocurrency stuff. Seem like a lot of people are going around trying to get people to invest in something called Hyperverse. But from doing research, it seemed like it started off as a hyper fund and it was like a scam, but now it's changed its name to Hyperverse. And I know a lot of people are putting money in it and trying to, get me to put money in it, but I don't trust it. So what do you think?
Well, I had a couple people asking me about Hyperverse, and it's a blockchain technology, and it's ran by 2 billionaires out of China, from what I understand. Also, I heard Amazon has a special deal on this particular group. Here's what I tell people: sometimes it's hard to be at the beginning of something to trust it and understand the process. So I tell people, if you see something you're skeptical about, you want to do something, but you're skeptical, just don't put a lot of money into it. Put a little money into it. If it works, you make some money. If you don't, you don't. I put money in a lot of startups over the years, and fortunately, I made a lot of money. I put some money in some startups and haven't made very much money. I've lost some money. So I tell people, if you got to invest in anything that you don't understand, get somebody to look it over for you. And also, don't put any money in any kind of speculation that you can't afford to lose. That's real important. Okay.
All right. Good deal. Any other questions? Great questions.
Any questions?
Do you feel like you don't know what to ask? And that's okay too.
Yeah. Hey, just jump in, guys. On this investment stuff, get on Fidelity's site, read it inside, outside, upside down. And it's just like a small university on here. And guys, don't be afraid to call me. Don't be afraid to hit Money Matters and schedule time to come in and sit down and talk.
What is your phone number, Mr. Charles? And also, do you think you'll be doing the advanced investment class in the very near future?
Absolutely. That's going to be on the agenda for sure this year. we'll make that happen.
It's a good idea to send an email so that we can get everything scheduled that way. So moneymatters@smark.info. I just put it in the chat. And then also we're asking for you all to do the survey. If you didn't get a chance to do it, make sure we complete that survey. But if you want to schedule appointments and things like that, please connect with us at moneymatters@smark.info. It is in the chat.
Yeah, I think she asked about office number too. I don't mind giving it to her. It's 501-295-3526. That's my office number, 501-295-3526.
I don't
Absolutely.
even think I have that number, Deacon Thomas.
Like, come on.
I'm gonna call you on your office number so I can make sure to schedule my next appointment.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you repeat that number again, Deacon Thomas?
Yes, sir. 501-295-3526.
Oh, don't copy it from the chat. I got it wrong. Hold on. 3526.
Yeah, 3526.
It's in the chat.
Yeah.
Can we do another scenario of where, like if we were going to purchase Exxon, can you show us how to compare between, say, Charles Schwab versus Fidelity for a different stock?
She guys want to go to some of that advanced stuff. So here's the thing, Charles Schwab. I'm a little biased, okay? Because as far as advisors, Charles Schwab is the #1 platform that we use. Compared to Fidelity, is mostly a retail site, and some advisors use them, but they're real big on the retail side. Charles Schwab to me is more user friendly. They reps are there 24/7, and they reps walk you through everything step by step, and they're very, very patient. So that's what I like about Charles Schwab. They are really designed to help the retail investor. And they're one of the first companies that got rid of fees. When they got rid of the fees, Fidelity, Vanguard, and all other guys followed suit with Charles Schwab. Charles Schwab, of course, they bought, I think they own Edward Jones and a few other companies. Yeah.
I know. I'm just writing Charles. How you spell it?
Charles Thomas. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So, but that's my biggest difference between the two brokerage houses. User friendly, Charles Schwab.
All right, I like it. I do like Charles Schwab's customer service. That 24 hours.
Oh yeah, they're good.
It's really good.
Yeah, they even bought TD Ameritrade.
They did.
Yeah, they bought them too. So they're a huge company, but friendly.
And if you're in Arkansas, there's one right around the corner.
Absolutely.
Yeah, there's a Charles Schwab around the corner.
Okay, I have a question. This is Tanya. So why is it, because you showed us, I think you went to Fidelity first and you showed us, I can't remember the mutual fund there. And then we popped over on Charles Schwab and you showed us the same mutual fund or whatever it was there. Why was the cost to invest so much different? Like one was $5,000 and one was like 100. Like, so do we need to shop around?
No,
like that's a huge difference.
I tell you, that's a good question. I'm glad you asked that question. That's a good question. Fidelity Investments, the only thing you can get there with almost no money down, $25, is their own proprietary funds. Okay, Charles Schwab, all their funds are based off the average guy can put in $100 a month. So to participate over there, those same fund managers. That B Focus Fund is not a Fidelity fund. It's ran by another fund company. So Fidelity, when Morningstar did their evaluation, that was one of the companies inside the evaluation. But if you want to buy that at Fidelity, it costs you $5,000 to do that. Because they don't even manage that fund. They just offer it on their platform. Charles Schwab offer the same platform, but since they're so customer oriented and want the average guy to be able to participate, they say, hey, for $100 you can start this fund. That's the difference in their cultural philosophy on how they deal with the retail public. Good question.
Okay, thank you.
It's not a proprietary fund of Fidelity.
Deacon Thomas, I wanted to ask you a question. I wanted to ask you, is there, or do you have any information on like EFTs or NFTs that you guys could email us to read about?
Absolutely. All that stuff down advanced class. We need to do 2 days done with investments, okay? So we talk about this EFT stuff. Yeah, we'll send you some stuff. Email us and put your information there, and I'll load you up on all the EFT stuff. Okay.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Can you do an analysis or philosophy when it relates to fees? Someone put that in the chat.
Yeah, I'm not that fee sensitive, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because I'm more results sensitive. I would much rather take a fund that's gonna pay me a consistent double-digit return than take a fund that's got very little fees in it, but it's gonna give me a really bad return. Kind of like the two examples we made with those two companies. One was gonna give me a $40,000 in 10 years. I was going to give me almost 100,000 in 10 years. And if I had those two companies there, and the one that's going to give me $100,000 had the higher fees, I'm going to go with the one that had the higher fees because the returns are going to offset those fees. Okay, because everything we saw was net of fees. When you look at returns, they're net of fees, meaning the fees have already been taken out. And there is a cost to doing business, and their cost is based off their fee costs. Some companies charge you a fee, they still don't have great returns. So why would a person invest with a person that they're paying a fee to, but the returns don't even beat the average mutual fund? And a lot of that goes on every day because a lot of time we buy brand. You know, I won't call out any names, but we buy brands a lot. And sometimes brands, they don't make you money. I've been doing this stuff 30 plus years, guys, and I have seen every kind of statement you can look at. And I've just been floored and saddened by some of the stuff I've seen, just because people don't have the education to evaluate what they're looking at. It's really important.
Good deal. Any other questions? That was great.
Yeah.
Great question, Ms. Karen.
Yes. What about SunTrust?
Yeah, SunTrust is the bank. You like SunTrust?
Okay, because that's where my 401k is.
Yeah. See, I was keeping in mind SunTrust, Principal, a lot of these different companies have 401ks, but your 401k has a selection of mutual funds inside that 401k that you need to select. Okay, it's real important. Right. Now check this out. All you guys that got a 401k, go in there and take a look at the selection of funds you can pick and choose from. Take those funds and go over to Morningstar and see how well those funds compare to other funds inside your portfolio. See, that's the problem with the 401k. It made the everyday guy a financial advisor for himself about something he don't know nothing about, see. So it's real important that you understand those returns. When you look at those returns inside your 401k, it depends on where you are. If you got 10 years left to retire and you invest in what I call a high risk fund where the funds really, they're making huge returns every year, you might need to start dialing that back a little bit, because over that next 10 years, you could have a hiccup inside that fund where if there's a major hit, that thing go down 20, 30%. It may take you 5 years just to get back to even. So within 10 years of retiring, start scaling your funds back from aggressive to mostly moderate, okay? But if you got another 20, 30 years to work before you retire inside those funds, you really need to be going high risk. You really need to be going aggressive, because as the market go up and down, you can handle it because you got enough years to recover. That's really important you understand that. So Charles, what you might want to do is pull your investment selections on your 401k. All of you guys might want to do this. Pull your investment selections and see what kind of returns that your money is giving you. Also on those statements on your 401k, every quarter it tells you what your return is year to date. You know, if you're not consistently getting a double-digit return, 10% or more, you might need to adjust your selections of your investment funds, because you've got some funds probably inside that selection process that's giving you those double-digit returns. But keep in mind, it depends on where you are from retirement on those adjustments. If you got more than 10 years, you're in good shape. If you got 10 years or less before you retire, scale it back some. Scale it back. Get a bit more conservative. Okay.
It's good. Any other questions? Any other questions?
I have one.
Up an account at Fidelity, is it better to open under the brokerage account, a government money market fund, a treasury money market fund, or an interest bearing option fund?
What kind of account is this?
Brokerage.
I'm gonna ask you one question now. Are you under 50?
Yes.
Okay. Do not put any money in the treasuries, government funds, any of that stuff. It's like going down to the bank and getting 1% of your savings account. You don't want to do that. If you got a 401k and you're under 50 years old, you've got to get your money out of any kind of money market, bonds, or treasury funds. It's just like not investing. I hate to tell you that, it's just like not investing. Very important that you do that. Candace, can you tell them a quick story for 20 seconds? We had a big meeting in Houston, and one of the associates that was riding with us, what happened to her 401k?
Oh man, she was literally getting about 2% rate of return on her 401k. And while we rode, so Deacon Thomas was going over it with her, and she pulled it up. So we reallocated her 401k on a ride to Houston. And about 6 months later, she was getting double digits based on the changes that were made to her 401k, just from one conversation, one ride to Houston.
And she was in her 20s, wasn't she?
Yes, in her 20s.
Guys, it's important to readjust that, especially based off your age group. Extremely important.
I have a question.
Okay.
What's the best way to keep up with this Amazon splitting that's coming up? How do we know where to find it or how to know when it's going to happen?
Oh, it'll be all over the place in the next 60 days. It'll be all over the media, everywhere. Everybody be talking about it, all this news stations and stuff. Amazon's going to split. Amazon's going to split. I would probably just put that on your favorites and track it, and it'll kind of give you notifications on what's going on with it.
Great question.
All right, thanks.
Somebody said if it's over 50, it's too late. Of course not.
Deacon Thomas?
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure, but I'm sure you're very knowledgeable on what you're talking about. You may want to look that Amazon up, because I'm almost positive they've already done that stock split maybe almost 3 weeks to a month ago.
Well, I just pulled it up on the market. I just put it on Yahoo Finance. It was $3,200. Okay. So for them to split 4-1, it had to be almost $10,000 a share. Okay. I appreciate it though, but we just pulled it up on the current market right now, the Yahoo Finance. It would have showed the split cost on the new price on there. That makes sense though, what I'm saying?
Mr. Thomas, I got one last question. This Tanya.
Okay.
Okay, so you said that we should review our 401k at our job and to adjust it. How often should we review it? Annually? I mean, every 6 months? Like, how often should we look at our 401k to kind of, adjust?
Yeah, once you get a couple of good funds that's got a good history on it, pretty much you can just redo it annually, see if you need to make any balance adjustments.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so annually. All right, thank you.
Annually be good.
All right, this has been wonderful. Last call.
Okay. Hey, Cash, real quick, go to Google real quick. Just want to make sure something. Now, that's the yeah. Put in there, has Amazon stock split yet? Then go down to soon right there. Okay?
There it is.
And there's your date, ladies and gentlemen. On about June the 3rd, 2022, for shareholders of record, May 22, this stock is looking around splitting. Okay, the adjusted price should be out around June the 6th, 2022. Everybody get that?
It's wonderful documentation.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Lee, I appreciate you. I think you was telling me about what the board had made the decision to split. So I appreciate you giving that information so we could, show the other information. Sure.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. I just, for somehow or another, because I do a lot of day trading when I can get a chance to, and for some reason I just, not to throw you off or anything, but
I appreciate that.
Yeah, I truly apologize, but I just remember there had been something about a stock split.
Yeah.
Maybe it was another stock that I'm thinking about. So
okay.
But,
hey, thanks though. It was good information. It gave us a chance to actually see the real numbers. So thanks a bunch.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any questions though? We're gonna close this baby out in a little bit. We just want to get all your questions answered tonight.
I got one more.
Okay.
Okay, you said if you're like 50 or over, we want to contribute to that catch-up fund and try to meet whatever the maximum is per year.
That's correct. That's correct. You know, the Roth IRA is, I think, $70,000 in inside your 401k. You can put 20,500. If you're over 50, you can put up to 27,000 in there. So, good point. So if you need to play catch up in there, go ahead and play catch up. But there's just a lot of outside investments you can put money into too. So don't tie all your money up in there unless you need a huge tax deduction and not pay money in taxes. Okay, pay too much money in taxes.
So we're putting that money in there from the money we earn, or just money like from investments or something? Is that what you're saying?
The way the 401k works, the money comes out of your paycheck. You can set aside a certain amount to go inside your 401k. So let's say a person making 100 grand a year. Let's say their husband is making another 100 grand a year. They got 200,000 a year coming in. They ran out a bunch of tax deductions and stuff. They said, we got to find a way to cut down these taxes. Let's say each one of them go in there and put $27,000 inside their 401k. That's $54,000 come off the top of the income. That's $54,000 like they didn't even make it. So now they're living, the money is growing, they save money on taxes. So it's just another tax strategy to overfund your 401k if you need to. The best tax strategy though is to learn about how to set up businesses and use the business deductions to offset that cost.
Okay, thank you.
Good question. This has been a good class. I think we got all the questions answered, kids.
I think so. I think we have done. Oh, let me make sure.
Okay.
Yes. Those are the questions that that I was seeing as well. So yeah, I think we're good. It has been an amazing class. I hope that everyone's enjoyed it and all the information. Deacon Thomas, you got any closing remarks that you want to give? Marcus, team members, anybody? Jamil, David?
Absolutely. With those guys. Did David say he just bought the Amazon?
Yeah.
I just bought it.
And we also put the Amazon link. We also put the evaluation link in the chat. If you all would give us some feedback on the class, we'd love to hear from you. So we always like to get better. And if you have a comment, make sure you request. If you want that additional class, make sure you request it. We want to make sure that it's something that you all would love to have. Okay?
We'll probably do a survey on it from all our old class members too, to make sure.
So we're going to send an email out as well. Yeah. So that'd be good.
Right.
Is that advanced class?
Yes, it is.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Awesome. All right. Deacon Thomas, you got any closing remarks? You good to go?
Let's see. All I got to say, take a serious look at the travel industry right now. Hilton hotels, some of the airlines and things of that nature. I think the general consensus that the virus is not where it used to be. Of course, I encourage everybody to still be very safe, of course. But there are some industries out there like Hilton Hotels and a few other guys out there. I think those shares are going to go up over the next 12 to 18 months. That's just kind of a freebie from me to you. I think you want to put some money in those areas and get some kind of guaranteed growth in those I like to call them blue chip areas type stocks. Most importantly, don't procrastinate. Take action. Where you go back and review your 401k, review all your debt, find the extra money, set up a debt elimination plan, and make sure all your protection areas are in where they need to be. Understand if you got health challenges, those kind of things, when open season roll back around, take advantage of that group health products and things you can buy without any health questions and get yourself covered for your family. Make sure you understand, like Candace talked about tonight, you're the number one asset. You are the income generator. Make sure that's protected. And we lay out at night, you can have some real peace of mind, knowing that my financial foundation is in place, my financial house is in order. And lastly, get that financial binder done for yourself and your family. Just had a case last week, wasn't a client of mine, but asked me to come help them identify some stuff they didn't know what it was because they lost a family member and they're trying to put stuff together right now. And of course, I volunteered to help. Not a client of mine, just a friend helping a friend. So it's very important that your financial house be in order. Don't leave it to somebody else, you know? Other than that, it's been a phenomenal class. It's been a phenomenal 10 years. This is kind of like a 10-year big deal. I'm excited to have a chance to share. I was excited to have a chance to share with you guys, with all my business associates on here and educators. It's been an honor. 10 years might be long enough. So get ready, Candace. So anyway, guys, that's all I have to say. You guys got anything to say? We'll give you a few minutes and we'll close it out with prayer or something and we'll be done.
Yeah, I got a question. Can you recommend any medicinal marijuana stocks? Because that seems like to be a big thing now too.
Yeah, they've been a big thing for a long time. I have just not been in that space lately in the medicinal marijuana or even in the marijuana area because about 5-6 years ago, when we were really advocating about marijuana stocks, is that they didn't have all the dispensaries all across the country and those things. The market is somewhat, gotten a little broad with so many players and actors in the market. I guess the one I've always liked was the one out of Canada. I can't think of the name of it right now.
Is it the Kronos Group?
Yeah, and they've got all the relationships with Sam's and all those guys and the distribution centers out of Canada, which is a great company. But right now, I was going to tell you to dig into anything right now. Don't sit on the sidelines and miss this cryptocurrency revolution that's going on. There's a major change going on in our country, in our world, and blockchain and cryptocurrency is kind of a new frontier, okay? 85,000 people last year became millionaires, first generation millionaires, just off of cryptocurrency, okay? So don't sit on the sidelines and think that it's not gonna happen, it's not gonna stick around. Fidelity Investments has put together a cryptocurrency platform. Mellon Bank, Amazon, Walmart, got a whole center they put together for cryptocurrency. Everybody's getting in the game. So don't be on the sideline wondering if this thing is going to happen, it's going to work. It's already in motion. There's a major money transformation going on right now, and you need to find out about it and have some money to take some risk. Okay, guys? Take some risks. Don't do it with your rent money. Don't do it with your mortgage money. Don't move it. Have 4 or 5 grand set aside, or $1,000, $500, whatever it is. Take some risk. Okay. People take $1,000 to the casino. They know they may win, they may not win. They don't care though. They had fun. So have some fun in this cryptocurrency market and take some risk with your money and create some money. All right. So that's all I have to say. Anybody else? Marcus, Jamil, Candace, David?
Just real quickly, I just put just a little teaser in the chat, but most medical debts will be removed from consumer credit reports beginning this summer. So in July, the big 3 credit bureaus have really determined that they will start removing medical debt that's been paid after it was sent to collections. So previously, those debts kind of hung around for a while, up to 7 years on your credit report, and really affected your score. But new unpaid medical debts won't actually be added until after a full year of being sent to collection. So that is huge.
Huge.
And just wanted to make you guys aware of that.
Thank you, Marcus.
No doubt.
That's really good.
That is good.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right.
Okay. Is that
okay. Closing, we're good. We're gonna pray. Deacon Thomas, you want to pray, or Marcus?
Good man. I love it.
Be happy to.
Okay, take us out, Marcus.
All right, good deal. If you will, bow with me, please. Our Father, which art in heaven, we thank you for, again, another day. We thank you for the 7 weeks. Lord, we've talked about, money management, budgeting, debt elimination. Lord, you carried us through discussions about our credit reports, our credit score, and how to improve those. You've walked us through how to purchase a home, and provided some great advice on obtaining a mortgage and the benefits of doing such. And Lord, you also took us through wills and trusts and the benefits of having those, and then, Lord, we rounded out with the investment piece and the rule of 72. Lord, we just pray and thank you for all of this information, all of this knowledge. Lord, when we know better, we do better. So we just pray and ask that you will allow us to each make this knowledge live within our lives and take action. Procrastination is one of those things that's easy to do, but we just pray, Lord, that you will allow us to take some action as we go forth. Some good questions have been asked tonight, and Lord, we just pray that thirst for knowledge continues. You're an awesome God. Lord, we appreciate and thank you for your love. Thank you for your grace. Thank you for your mercy. Lord, we thank you for covering us, keeping us in the valleys of our lives, Lord, because when we come out, we know that you're with us still, and you're ordering our steps as we go forward. So, Lord, we just thank you for this group tonight. We pray, Lord, that as they go forward, you will continue to keep your loving arms around them. Bless their each and every day. Bless their steps, Lord, and just go with them and be with them as we round out this night. Lord, as we leave this place, or this class, but we never leave your presence. We just want to say again, thank you for that. And Lord, we ask everything in your darling son, Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen. Very wonderful prayer.
All right. Good night.
Enjoyed you all.
Guys, have a
Good night,
great,
Gary.
Thank you.
Great class. Enjoyed you guys. Amen.
great class.
Yeah.
Good night, everyone.